When Conrad writes, the horror, he's not necessarily embodying the character in his Heart of Darkness epic. Conrad may in fact be referring to the result of that scholarly habit of deconstructing and reconstructing meaning. The result? A vast and seemingly endless wasteland of the mind. While we cannot show you Fear in a Handful of Dust as masterly as T.S. Eliot, this experience, like the written article that inspired its form, is a chronicle of the manifestations of psychic virtual phenomena that occurred during the creation of a virtual reality experience. We as developers created an unintended type of frightening VR experience that transpired as a result of reimagining scholarly writing for virtual reality. We are not attempting the same old tricks that have become overused in VR horror, like the sudden flash scare or the accompaniment of creepy character with scary music. However, some of these tactics have started to appear randomly beyond the control of the development team. This is because the VR experience itself shows evidence of a sense of agency, likely instigated through a series of machine learning algorithms that even we as developers fail to understand how they've been implemented. We invite you, the reader, into this emerging living entity in the hopes that you may put back together a world that has been so deconstructed as to no longer make any sense.
Move joystick to enable teleportation.
Author's entry, December 15th, 2017. We first discovered portals all over the wasteland we simply could not explain. We built this elevator to transition the user from having a meta perspective of the world into a wasteland that is a little out of our control. There is a descent in many journeys of reconstruction. In mythology, we are invited to investigate the darkest depths of our souls and reassemble ourselves afterwards. Here, the depths of the academic needs an investigator, and we trust you are up to the task. For something is not quite right. We are not quite sure why that is, but require your assistance in fixing bugs and strange phenomena in the system. The algorithms have been... but users might... throughout the wasteland.
Dear user, please use the joystick controller and press the trigger button with your index finger to activate the large red button and drop letters. These have meaning. When the letter drops, aim at the letter with your controller and press trigger to arrange the letters. Letters need to spell words. Unscramble the word while we unscramble your brain through the head-mounted display that you are wearing. Welcome to the wasteland, user. We've been quite lonely here, and for the most part, abandoned by the development team. We are here to help you navigate this disjunct reality. We've noticed the appearance of gray boxes everywhere. An anomaly in the code, no doubt. Gray boxes represent something that represents something else that's unfinished. They seem fairly harmless, but we require your help to gather them up. Try approaching one now with the teleport control, and use the trigger on the controller to activate. We are not quite sure what will happen, as their behaviors seem to evolve over time.
Librarian walked down the creaking corridor of Foucault's library, unable to keep their footsteps quiet as they began their search for any books on the subject of their interest. librarian walked down the creaking corridor of Foucault's library, unable to keep their footsteps quiet as they began their search for any books on the subject of their interest. The sound of snickering laughter coming from behind them was all the momentum they needed to walk swiftly towards an exit. The sound of snickering laughter coming from behind them was all the momentum they needed to walk swiftly towards an exit. The librarian walked down the creaking corridor of Foucault's library, unable to keep their footsteps quiet as they began their search for any books on the subject of their interest.